Good morning, everybody. So here's Valerie. Let's get everybody settled. Hey, good morning. How are you? So, all right. Hi. I've been teaching for a few weeks. Many of you have been here, but some of you haven't. So I'm going to just give the overview on this idea of this concept in yoga called the koshas, which is it's a way of understanding our energetic being, right? That we have these layers of ourselves. So from the outside inwards, we have the physical body. That's like the outermost layer of our being, everything, our body, our muscles, our bones, our organs, everything. The next innermost layer is the Anandamayakosha. That's your energy body. We access it and sort of feed it through the breath, pranayama practices. The next layer is the Anandamayakosha, which is your kind of animal brain, your the way you react to sensory input, and your nervous system reacts in a very, without having to think about it too much, right? It's just your sort of like see tiger run brain, feel hungry, eat, and then the next level, so the first three is sort of where we live most of the time, those outer three layers is where we have to live most of the time, to do our jobs and take care of our children and exist in the physical world. And then these inner two layers are where we sort of begin to access the spiritual path, so to speak. So the next layer is called the Vijnanamayakosha. That's the wisdom body. It's where your beliefs live and your higher level of intelligence. It's the level of the mind where we make meaning of things that are happening in our lives, where we're not just sort of a victim of our circumstances, but we can look at whatever we're facing and say, and make meaning and purpose out of that. And then this week, we're finally into this innermost layer, which is the Anandamayakosha, the bliss body. So first, I love that they're called bodies, like we have a bliss body. You have a bliss body. Did you know you had a bliss body? Like it's part of your anatomy, because I think often we come into a practice or we're doing, we do a spiritual practice or a meditation or, whatever practices we do, prayer or anything. And we think we're trying to, gain something. We're trying to obtain something. We're trying to build something. And what the system says is, no, it's there. You have it. It's already there. It's part of who you are. Now it gets covered up by this stuff on the outside often, it can be buried pretty deep in there sometimes, but it's always there and it's part of your being. And so to me, that's a very, it takes the onus off a little bit, where it's like, oh, I don't have to like do good deeds to access that bliss body. I mean, be a good person, right? Don't do crappy things, but it's not dependent on that. It's not dependent on any circumstance. It's not dependent on anything outside of yourself. It is part of who you are. The word bliss is a little bit misleading, as with all of these concepts when we talk about, when we talk about a spiritual path, we're trying to give language to something that is very hard to talk about. It's not really something that we can speak about. We have to experience it. So that word bliss, I think, can be misleading because I think on the surface level, we think, oh, bliss means happy, but bliss doesn't mean happy, not in the context of what we're talking about. Happiness is dependent on circumstances. Happiness is, I got the birthday present I wanted. That's happiness. Happiness is, ooh, I'm eating an ice cream cone. It's delicious. That's happiness. I mean, I think it can be bliss also, but right. But it's dependent on, my kid did his dishes today. He didn't, but okay. Happiness would be based on that, So those external things. And happiness is never the goal of yoga because it's dependent on external circumstances. Ananda, bliss, this idea of this innermost layer, is not dependent on anything. It is what it is. And it's accessed through connection, through love, through, when we have absorbative experiences. So falling in love, that's an experience of Ananda. You know, there's nothing, you're with your beloved and you're in that moment of falling in love. There's nothing else going on in the world. You know, you're not thinking about your kid not doing the dishes, you know, giving birth, not thinking about anything else. Grief, deep grief. So here's the other side of it, right? You can access Ananda and be in grief. It might not feel as good as falling in love, but it's this absorbative moment. And in those moments, like you're so open and you're so deeply connected to something that's bigger than yourself. You know, so I've been asking people all week, what are those moments that you've had? Because that's the gateway into it. Hopefully your yoga is too. And then eventually your meditation is supposed to be that, right? It's supposed, the way that it's supposed to work is like you sit for your meditation, and meditation is the gateway into that Ananda, that absorbative, blissful moment. But what are the experiences that you've had that bring you there? Walking on the beach. Exactly. Like somewhere in nature, right? Just something magnificent. You're there, you're in it, right? Somebody said breastfeeding earlier this week. It was definitely that for me. But it's all woven together, you know, it's like, it's all woven together. Cause I was like, yeah, well, oxytocin, that's pretty powerful medicine, you know, and it is, but it's not only that. Yes, your body releases oxytocin and you get that rush of, you know, like that love hormone, that's oxytocin. You get it when you breastfeed, you get it when you have sex, you get it when you're falling in love. It's oxytocin, it's chemical. But yet there's also the connection side of that. There's also the where you're connecting to your child or your partner or what, you know. So it's deeper than that. It's not just the chemical reaction. You know, we know that. What else? Anything else? Someone said their dog. Music. Like being, you know, like a good concert. You're not anywhere else. You're in it. You're singing. You're dancing. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe when it's your job, it doesn't happen as much. Tilly is a dancer. All right. So think about it. But those are the moments, you know, where you're just so in it. That's Ananda. It's not happiness. You know, it's happiness hopefully is the byproduct, but it's not the goal. You know, it's hopefully what happens. And so how do we access that in our asana practice? Because really asana practice is more those first three layers. You know, we're in our bodies, you know, meditation is the gateway to those more deeper layers. But as you're doing your asana practice, you know, are you aware that there is this part of yourself that's also doing it? Are you aware that you can be doing this practice and be in Ananda and really be here fully experiencing it, whether it's joyful or not, whether it feels great or doesn't feel great, you know, what, like just in it, you know? And just thinking perhaps about the way that all, you know, yoga is such a holistic practice. It works on us on all these levels, or it makes us aware of ourselves on all these levels. So just as we've been going through these layers, I've been talking about this all of these weeks of just not, of sort of feeling how they all integrate together. You know, it's not just your body doing the pose. It's not just your mind doing meditation. It's not, right. It's all of it together. And when you can really understand that we are these multifaceted creatures, then the practice becomes much deeper. And it's not just the crazy poses we do on our mat. We'll do those too, because they're fun, but you know, but more than that. Okay, I'll stop talking. Close your eyes, sit up nice and tall. Let your breath deepen. Let it fall into a steady, more even rhythm. The breath directly feeds the Anandamayakosha, the second layer. But when we're breathing better, our bodies feel better. When we're sitting well, when we're lined up in our bodies, our breath moves better. When our bodies feel good and our breath is moving well, our minds feel clearer. And then we can access those deeper layers. They're all part of who we are, and one is not any less than or more than another. All just part of the picture of being an embodied human. And so take a moment just to sit, feel all these layers of yourself. resting against each other, communicating with each other. Then draw your hands together in front of your heart. And perhaps as you're drawing your hands together, think of, sometimes it's helpful for the mind to have a little hook or a little mantra, a word, a phrase, an image, something that when your mind wanders off and is not fully present here, something that brings you back. So maybe just take a moment. And if that would be helpful, just set that for yourself as an intention. And then we'll chant together 3 ohms and then 3 times through Om Namah Shivaya. Deep breath in. Shivaya Rave Satchidananda Murtaye Shravachaya Shantamaya Niranamaya Tejasa Shivaya Rave Satchidananda Murtaye Shravachaya Shantamaya Tejasa Shivaya Rave Satchidananda Murtaye Shravachaya Shantamaya Niranamaya Tejasa. Bow your head to your heart, every layer and facet and dimension of your embodiment. Release your hands, let your eyes open. All right, let's start in tabletop. Come to hands and knees. And just start with some cat and cow. Inhaling, arching, exhaling, rounding. I'm going to move this out of the way for us. Yeah, so again, feel how the breath is moving you. Feel how your body is moving you, your awareness, your mind. Bring all of it together in this easy, simple movement. All right, then land in tabletop and stretch your right leg back behind you. Lift your toes off the floor. Yeah. And then we're going to just do some rotation. So keep your arms nice and strong. You're going to rotate your whole leg out, look to the right, and then rotate the whole leg in and look to the left. So keep it straight back behind. You're just turning and rotating the leg, not swinging it side to side, just rotating it out and then rotating it inward. So feeling your thigh bone, your femur bone, rotating in the hip socket. So it's not just your foot turning, it's your whole leg turning from the thigh bone. All right, good. Drop your toes down. And now do the same thing with the foot on the floor. So rotate the inner thigh up, the right hip, it'll drop down the hip a little bit, and then rotate the hip outwards. You'll feel your glutes tone a little bit. Keep the toes right where they are and just rotate the leg. So try to keep the heel over the toes and see if you can rotate the top of your thigh bone without moving your foot. It's a more subtle movement, a smaller movement. The foot might move a little bit, but yeah, focus the movement at the top of the thigh. Okay, good. Then come to neutral. So the inner thigh is rolling up, but the glute is toning. Lift your toes back up, stretch your left arm out in front of you. Notice the tendency of your foot to turn out, right? So keep the toes turning in a little bit more here, that broadening of the back of your pelvis. And then lift everything up a little bit higher, bend up your back knee, reach back and catch your foot with your hand. Flare out your toes, kick your foot up into your hand. And again, instead of just thinking the foot lifting, try to lift the whole thigh bone up. And then lift your breastbone up, lift your head up, lift your foot a little higher. Nice, you guys. Release that foot down. Sit back into child's pose for a moment. Just give the wrists a break. If your wrists get sensitive, you can always turn your palms up and just do a little wrist stretch, squeeze the hands into a fist, and then open the fingers. So just getting a little stretch for the wrists. And then come back up to tabletop. Send your left leg back behind you. Toes off the floor, big rotation. Turn the whole leg out, looking to the left, and then turn the whole leg in, looking to the right. Rotating at the thigh bone, turning out, and then turning inwards. And a couple more just like that. Having a sense of the whole leg rotating inwards and then outwards. One more. Good. And then drop the toes. And with the toes, the heel over the toes and the toes down, continue the rotation. So right inner thigh lifts up, hip drops down, and then the hip will lift a little, the glute will tone. That's more a movement of just bringing the pinky side of the foot down. So as you turn it in, the big toe side of the foot gets weighted. As you turn it out, the pinky toe side gets weighted. We tend to be in that more externally rotated position. So we're just going to focus a little more on the inward rotation today. Okay, come to neutral. So the inner thigh, now lift the leg back up and lift from your inner thigh. So the toes are pointing straight down, right arm out in front. Stretch out nice and long. Notice the tendency of the left foot to want to turn out. So toes point straight down, roll the inner thigh up. Good, now lift from the inner thigh a little more, lift from the armpit a little more. Bend your knee, flare your toes, catch your foot behind you. Kick your foot into your hand. Lift the knee a little higher. Lift your collarbone and your breastbone a little higher. Lift your inner left thigh rather, a little higher. Good, drop it back down. Knees really wide, child's pose. Close your eyes. Connect to that part of yourself, inside yourself, that is capable of great love, great connection. I would say joy is closer to Ananda than happiness is. You know, joy is that like intense, unexpected connection with others, with God, with nature, with the universe. Brene Brown calls it the good mood of the soul. That's what we're aiming for. All right, come back up to tabletop. And then come longer into a long dog pose with the feet wide apart. Come on up. That's it. Good. And then let's do some dog squats here. So bend your knees deeply. And as you bend your knees, exaggerate the action of the inner thighs rolling back, the sit bones lifting and widening. And then as you straighten your legs, try to maintain that action. So bend and straighten a few times. With the knees bent, you'll be able to access that internal rotation a little bit more. Yeah. That's it. Press the hips back as you bend your knees. So you're not dropping your knees down, you're pressing your hips back. All right, one more. All right, hold steady now in your dog pose. Stretch your arms and your legs as straight as you can. Feel like you're pushing the floor away with your arms. Maybe take the hips a little bit higher, stretch your heels a little lower. Take one more breath to just be here. Every layer of your being participating. Body, breath, mind, wisdom, and bliss. Walk yourself forward. Uttanasana. Fold deeply. Every time we fold in our asana practice, it's that opportunity to turn inside, to turn to those deeper, more covered up layers, just to remember that they're there. Lengthen your spine. Come on all the way up. Reach up and stretch up tall. Exhale, let your arms float by your sides. Step your feet a little narrower for Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees. And just like we did in dog, poke your hips way back behind you. Bring your weight to the inner edges of your feet and roll your inner thighs down towards the floor. Broaden your sit bones away. Then into that space between the sit bones, drop your tailbone. So the curve in your spine lengthens, and tone your belly a little bit. And then maybe take the whole thing a little bit deeper. Thighs a little deeper, spine a little taller, arms a little straighter. Good, come on up. And exhale, release your hands. Same pose, we're gonna go into twist. So the closer the feet are, the easier the twist will go. If you need wider for balance, of course, that's fine. Inhale, arms up. Hips back. Chair pose. Line yourself up. Line up your body and then line up every layer. Draw your hands to your heart. Twist right, left elbow to right knee. That's it. Notice how the left knee wants to poke forward. Pull the left knee back. Pull your left hip back. Turn your belly more to the right. Press your right palm down onto your left palm. Use that to help rotate your belly, your sternum more in front of your thumbs. One more breath. Come up to center, hands at heart. Twist second side. Right elbow, left knee. Good. In your awareness, pull your right knee back slightly, pull your right hip back slightly. Press your elbow down firmly, twist a little bit more, turn your belly to the left, turn your breastbone, maybe turn your gaze, take your gaze upwards. One more breath just to be here. Good, inhale, center, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, sweep your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, stretch your arms back behind you. Roll your outer shoulder blades in, roll your inner shoulder blades towards each other. Hinge from your hips, fold forward. Arms towards the sky, head towards the floor. Lift your shoulder blades onto your back, in towards your spine so that the front of the heart is just peeling open, easing open. On your next exhale, release your hands. Inhale and lengthen your spine, look forward. In this position, you can get that internal rotation of the legs a little easier. So exaggerate it, spin your inner thighs back, lengthen out of your pelvis, and then fold a little deeper. Plant your hands, step or hop back, downward facing dog. Inhale and flow forward to plank. We don't think about our legs so much in this pose because so much weight is on the arms and the wrists, but work your legs here a little more. Spin your inner thighs up, tone your glutes, stretch your heels back and your heart forward. Keep that, chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend. That's it. And downward facing dog. Three breaths in your dog, maybe pedaling a little, maybe shifting hips, see what feels good in your legs and your shoulders and your pelvis. And this awareness of all of these layers helps us to attune to not just nurturing what feels good in the body. You know, the body often just wants to go in the path of least resistance, which means habitual patterns. And sometimes that's fine. And sometimes those patterns don't serve us. You know, the mind, the same thing, habitual patterns. Sometimes it serves, sometimes it doesn't. Seek what is deeper, what is unchanging. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop forward to Uttanasana. Lengthen your spine and exhale, fold. Long spine, come on up, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, slide your hands to your heart. Whatever that mantra was, or image, or word, or just feeling that you had to help connect into the Anandamayakosha, just bring that back into your awareness here. Keep it with you. Circle your arms to the sky. Fold from your hips. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, downward facing dog, however you want to get there. Dog split. Narrow your feet, right leg up, dog split of your choice. So see what feels like it wants to evolve. Knee bent, leg straight, hip open, hip closed. How is it that your body wants to embody this pose? Be there fully, and then let the pose itself be Ananda, be joy, be that moment of connection. Big step forward, warrior two. All right, let's take a moment, just work the legs here for a moment. So left leg, back leg, spin the inner left thigh back and move your thigh bone back in line with your ankle. We tend to be, if you had like Adidas stripe on your leg, it would be, we tend to be on a diagonal, make it straight. So thigh bone back, inner thigh back. Then notice the front knee will come in. So you tone the glute, you draw your sit bone, your left, right sit bone down and forward, and then sit into the pose with that openness across the front of your pelvis. Feel how that gives a more lift to the spine. Drop your back hand, reach your top arm up, front arm up, lean back, any amount. Check in with your front knee and your awareness. Still pressing to the side, that glute still toning. That's it. Good. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Come upright. Cartwheel over, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Hand to ankle, to shin, to floor. Bear a little weight into your right hand so you can push down into something and turn your belly a little more from right to left. Check in with your legs, the inner left thigh still spinning back, that right hip tucking back and under. And then just be here, be Ananda. From here, Ardha Chandrasana, we're going to step into the right foot, right hand forward. Balancing half moon. You can put a block under your right hand if you need to. Right leg out straight. Well, that's fine. If you want to take the Chapasana variation, that's fine. Yep. Wherever you are, be there fully. Be there gloriously. Be there beautifully. That inner Ananda just expanding from the inside out. Okay, big step back. And then parallel your feet, walk between your feet, Prasarita Padottanasana. Fold to center. Instead of letting your shoulders just collapse towards the floor, resist the shoulder blades up the back a little bit. Let your head and your neck release, your face, your jaw. Yeah. Maybe another breath here to let go, to release into the moment, and then walk back to the front of your mat and back to dog pose. You can hold in your dog or you can flow through a vinyasa. And then dog split, left leg up, whatever you did on the first side, mirror that here. Yeah, so knee bend, leg straight, hip open, hip closed. Good. Big step forward. Warrior two. All right, so the actions of the legs. The back inner thigh has to spin back more and the thigh bone move back more. The front leg, the hip, the left sit bone down, the left hip back, left glute toning. More space in the pelvis, more openness through the pelvis. Drop your backhand. Lean yourself back. Keep bending into the front knee, pressing the knee wide. Lean back a little more. Good, straighten your front leg. Inhale up, reach out and over, Trikonasana. Focus on the legs again, just for a moment. Spin the inner left thigh back, right thigh back more. The left glute tones and draws under. Then you can turn your belly a little bit more, gaze up. Ardha Chandrasana, step into your left foot, left hand down in front, float up your right leg. Classically, this pose, the leg is in line with the hip, shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. Yep, if you did the variation on the first side, you can take that again here. That fills your heart with joy. If that connects you to the bliss body, do it. Do joy, do bliss. Good. Big step back, Prasarita Padottanasana. And then yogi's choice here. You want to take a twist. You want to just stay in the forward bend. Fine. You want to take a twist. Fine. You want to take a headstand. Fine. See what serves to nourish that innermost layer. Tend to be so focused on the outer layer. And in some ways, we're doing that, you know, we're feeding that outer layer. But when we do that, when we feed the senses, when we feed the body, when we feed our hearts, we are that much more easily able to connect into the bliss that is there. I mean, we should be able to in any circumstance, right? That's what the yogis say. But let's be real. It's harder when other stuff isn't feeling good. All right, walk back to the front of your mat. Uttanasana. Actually, downward facing dog, not Uttanasana. Sorry, guys. And then flow through Vinyasa. Okay. Vashisthasana. Come to the right hand, grip your fingers down, spin down the pinky edge of your right foot. You can stagger your feet or you can stack your feet. Press down into your feet, make your legs really strong, push down into that bottom arm. Yeah, any variation you like here. Keep pushing the floor away from you. Move your top shoulder back. Breathe and do joy. Do Ananda. Back to dog. Vashisthasana, second side. Left heel down. Grip the left fingers, stay out of the wrist as best you can. Feet are stacked or staggered. Activate your feet like Ananda all the way into the toes. Make the toes awake, alert, alive with Ananda. Your legs, your belly, your shoulders, your heart. Lean your head back a little bit. Yeah, that's it. And back to dog. Nice, you guys. All right, Uttanasana for real this time. Step or hop forward. Lengthen your spine, rise up with your breath. And exhale, release your arms. All right, we're gonna do a little standing flow, working on this seating of the thigh bones back into the hips. So we tend to stand, you know, we tend to live in those outer three layers. We tend to stand in our, you know, feet turned out, thighs popped forward. I know none of you stand like this. I'm exaggerating, right? But we tend to stand with thighs forward, shoulders rounded. So this is the sort of antidote to that, is to get the thigh bones to seat back and create that deeper curve in the spine. So bring your feet closer together. Sit your hips back. We're going to go hands on hips for now. Hips back into chair pose. Good. Really stick your butt back behind you. Feel your sit bones lift and widen out. Now, if you get a big curve in your spine like I do, you're going to want to tone your belly and drop your tailbone at the same time. So do both of those things together. Okay, shift your weight to your right foot. Keep your right knee bent, and then send your left leg behind, left knee bent, towards warrior three, but with bent knees. And then with your knee bent, roll your inner left thigh up so your hips are level. Now extend your back leg without letting the toes turn out. Extend your spine, lift your elbows. Pull your right hip back, straighten your right leg. That's it. Stay here or arms to the sides or arms out in front, any arm position that you like for your warrior three. And then do Ananda here. Probably harder in this pose, right? But that's the point. We practice it here so we can do it out there when stuff gets hard. Okay, standing split, hands to floor or to blocks. Before cranking your leg up as high as you can, do that internal rotation so that your left thigh bone is rotating internally in your hip. Then if your left hip wants to lift over the right hip, you can do that to lift the leg a little higher. It's two different actions, the leg and the hip. You want to work balance, right hand behind the calf, maybe both hands behind the calf. Stretch both legs straight wherever you are. And then step back, not as far as you would for warrior, Parsvottanasana. So land your back foot, come upright, straighten both legs. Good, work the inner rotation of the back leg from the inner thigh a little bit more. Pull your right hip back. Take your hands behind your back. You can hold opposite elbows or you can take reverse prayer. That's it. Move your shoulders back, lift your heart. Good, now hinge from your hips. As you come forward, roll your left inner thigh back, pull your right hip back. Left inner thigh back, right hip back. Left inner thigh back, right hip back. Stay with a long spine as long as you can. And then when you need to round, let your head move towards your knee. Inner left thigh back, right hip back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, step forward, Uttanasana. Standing rest, bend your knees, rest your belly on your thighs, hold your elbows. Let your neck soften, let your head soften. If you have a disc issue in your spine, keep your knees really bent here. If your spine is healthy, the discs are healthy, you can stretch your legs straight and just let the weight of your body stretch those muscles along the spine a little bit more. We just don't want to put that pressure into the discs if you have a disc situation happening. All right, slide your hands to your hips, lengthen your spine, push into your feet, come on all the way up. Bend your knees, chair. Shift your weight to your left foot. Get light on your right toes. We're coming in with bent knees. So bent standing leg, bent lifted leg. Focus on the lift of your inner right thigh as the leg goes up behind you towards warrior three. Lift from the inner thigh. Then as you stretch your right leg straight, keep the inner thigh rolling up. Don't turn the toes out. It's not wrong. It's just Ardha Chandrasana. It's a different pose. Stretch your standing leg straight. Pull your left hip back as you stretch both legs straight and then arm position of your choice. And then be here. Be Ananda. Be joy. Be all the layers coming together. Drop your hands, standing split. Again, before you crank that leg way up, do the internal rotation of your right leg. So the inner thigh is lifting, then maybe the hip stacks, right hip over left. And maybe you're working balance, maybe your hands stay on the floor and you want that deeper stretch. What brings you closer to the inner depths of your being? What brings you closer to Ananda? Step back, Parsvottanasana. Land your heel. Come upright. Hands behind your back, other elbow on top, or again, reverse prayer. Good. As you hinge, your right thigh is spinning back, your left hip is pulling back. Tip your pelvis forward as you come forward. Inner right thigh back, outer left hip back. Keep going. Keep going. When you need to round, let your spine round. Head towards your knee.
Keep spinning the right thigh back, left hip back. Fold a little deeper. Hands to the floor. Let every layer of your being do the pose. The body's doing it. The mind is doing it. The energy is doing it. And let your bliss do the pose. Inhale, step forward. Good. And then we're going to come down onto our backs, but we need a strap. I think I told you guys maybe we need a strap, but we do. So if you don't have one, go grab a strap and then let's meet on our backs together. For Supta Padangusthasana. Okay, so as you're coming to your back, we're going to go strap around the right foot first, and you want it around the base of the toe. I like it around the base of the toes because you can really push up with your, engages the leg, the lower leg as well. And then we'll stretch the left leg to the floor. So right leg into the strap. Walk your hands up as close to your foot as you can. That's it. And then just feel that bottom leg. Can I press? Feel your left leg. Roll your inner left thigh down towards the floor. Push your right foot into your hands, your strap, into whatever you've got going on. Can I press a little here? Is that okay? Okay, now both straps over into your right hand. Hold again as close to the foot as you can. Then push your your left inner thigh down, open the right leg out to the right. But focus on that bottom leg for a moment. Can I press a little? Inner left thigh spinning down. Press your right leg out to the right. It's all right, we're all friends. Can I press here a little bit? Is that okay? Yeah, well, when you're in yoga, that's what happens. Best thing that ever happened to me is I was once in a class and guy was next to me and we did this pose and we were so close together and he just started massaging my foot. And I was like, you're my new best friend. I love you. Didn't know him, never saw that dude again, but it was a nice foot massage. All right, one more breath. Keep the left thigh pressing down, push the right leg out. Is that okay? Yep. Good, bring that leg back up. Remove your strap, extend your leg out. Yep, and switch. If you want to take a moment in between, it's nice to have that moment of feeling the muscles of the leg opening up. It's not just the muscles, right? You can feel the energy moving better. You can feel how the mind gets clearer. Walk your hands up a little, Susan. Can I press? Is that okay? Okay. Get that left leg as straight as you can. The goal is not how much you're cranking the leg in, but just getting it straight. That's important. Then we get the hamstring to open up a little bit. Okay, both straps over to your left hand. That's it. Press your inner right thigh. Can I press a little? Is that okay? And then press your leg out to the side. So don't let gravity take it. Push it to the side. And push your shoulder down and your thigh down. That's it. Reach your right arm over to the right as you're stretching your left leg out to the left. Yep. Then press a little. All right, take one more breath. Can I press, Marsha? Good. And then bring that leg back up. Okay, set your strap to the side. While we're here, let's do some abdominals because, we're on our back, so we should do that, right? So similar position, we're going to go right leg up. The knee could be a little soft here. It doesn't have to be really straight, but extend your leg towards the sky. And then your left leg is out straight. You can either have your foot on the floor or you can hover it. Either way is fine. Then deep breath in where you are. Exhale, curl up. Good. Inhale, shoulders down. Exhale, shoulders up. Inhale, shoulders down. Exhale, shoulders up. So lifting and lowering from the shoulders, letting your neck and your head just rest into your hands. 3 more. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Last 2.
Pull your navel to your spine. Breathe all your air out. Breathe in. Last one. Okay, good. Bend your knees and rest. Maybe take a little shoulder stretch while you're here. Widen your elbows out. Press your shoulders down. Second side, left leg to the sky. Right leg out straight. Hold it on the floor or hover it. And then with your breath, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. If your back bothers you, leave that bottom leg on the floor. It'll make it better. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Pulse with your breath. Full breath in, full breath out. The other thing that happens when we become aware of these layers is that we can access different parts. So when the body is, working really hard, we can move the breath better. When our minds are really busy, we can ground into our bodies. We just know that we have all these different layers. Do one more. Okay, bend your knees, rest. Okay, let's just do a quick hip stretch while we're here. Right ankle on top of left knee. Flex your right foot, spread out your toes. Now feel how when you did that, the right hip got heavier and lower to the floor, right? So level off your hips. Your knee might come up a little closer to your shoulder, but keep your hips level and press your right knee away from you without letting the hip drop down. You'll get a deeper stretch into the hip. Then without using your hands, lift up your left leg. Pull your left knee to your chest, press your right knee away. So do it with your legs first. Pull your left knee in, press your right knee away. Yeah. Hands-free version first, if you can. Then thread your arms through and now pull the left leg in. The first one works on mobility of the hip. And the second, when we grab the leg, that works on flexibility of the hip, and both are important. So we like to do both. Okay, exhale and release that. Switch sides, cross your left ankle on top. Again, as you cross over, don't let the left hip collapse down. So hips are level, left foot flexed, and then keep them level. Pull your right knee in, press your left knee away. Let your legs do the work for these first couple of breaths. Right knee in, left leg presses away. Then thread your arms through, add the flexibility component. So pull your right knee in, press the left knee out. That's it. Yeah, and you can use your hand on your knee or your elbow on your knee to create that deeper stretch, but you don't have to. You can do it just the leg can press itself away. Okay, uncross, release. Find your way back to dog. Rock forward and hop back, or however you want to get there. And then vinyasa, last vinyasa opportunity here, if you wish. Not doing a ton of back bends today, so use that as your back bend moment. All right, and then step hop forward, Uttanasana. Lengthen your spine, rise up with your breath. Reach up, stretch tall. And release your arms. Okie doke. We're going to go to the wall. I want you to bring a block with you, and you may need a strap. So bring a block and a strap, just in case. Okay, so we're not so full in here. We can spread out, take space. Yeah, come on over. Yeah, we can be out of the windows. That's fine. Yeah, give yourself some space. Come over here. Yeah, come over here. Take some space. Okay. All right, first thing we're doing, we're going to work on Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So that's this pose. Okay, so that when we do this pose, what tends to happen is this. All right, okay, none of you are doing that, but we get this like thigh bone popped forward, and we're kind of here. So we want to work on that. So same thing we did on our backs, right? We just did on our backs when we were grounding that bottom leg. That's what we're doing here. So we're going to use the wall for support to do it. So watch me for a second. We're going to have the hand on the wall. We're going to hold the foot. If you can't reach your foot, you use the strap here. So this is where your strap can come in. All right, we're going to lean forward. We're going to hinge forward. So just like we were doing in chair pose, and move the thigh bone over the ankle, then leg out. Then this thigh bone stays back, the inner thigh stays back, and I'm just wrapping my sit bone under to come up. So I'm not coming to here, I'm keeping my thigh bone back over my ankle, okay? So we'll use a wall for support and try it that way first. So stand on your right leg, have your right hand on the wall, lift up your left leg, hold your left foot. Good, make your standing leg strong. So go inside the knee, yeah, like that. Hold with the hand inside the knee. Okay, good. Now lean forward. Hinge from your hip and push your right thigh bone back. Spin your inner right thigh back. Then send your left leg out to the left. Keeping your right thigh bone back, wrap your left sit bone down and under, bring yourself upright. Good, creep your fingers up the wall maybe. That's it, stand tall, shoulders over hips. And then do Ananda, do joy. All right, let that go, very good. Does this make sense? Yeah, okay. Second side, stand on your left leg. That's what I've been saying all week. You know, when you teach on Ananda and you teach on joy, then you get to do all the poses that the teacher loves to do. So whether you like them or not, for better or for worse, this is one of my favorites. Okay, standing on your left leg, hold your right foot with a strap or with your hand. Lean forward. Left thigh bone back. Good. Right leg out to the right. So the right inner thigh lifts and widens here also, and that's a good thing, but then you just draw your glute under, draw the glute to meet the sit bone, stretch out through both legs straight, both arms straight, stand up tall. You got it. Okay, and release. Okay, beautiful. Now, let's do this. So stagger with your neighbor so you have some space, and we'll do the balancing version. So try to work those two actions. Like if it's helpful for you to do that, lean forward and leg out and then under, that's fine. You can do it that way. But you can also do it without leaning forward. So still rolling the thigh back, dropping the sit bone, taking the leg out, right? So whatever way serves you. Actually, let's do that. Face the long edge of your mat. Yeah, face the long edge so that so face towards me, everybody. Okay, just so you have room side to side. Okay, stand on which leg do we stand on first? Right leg? Right leg, stand on your right leg. Lift up your left knee. You can hold with the strap, and of course you can still use the wall if you need to. Okay, good. Now, roll your inner right thigh back. Roll it back and wide. Then take your left knee out to the left, stretch your left leg out. Keep rolling your inner right thigh back. Draw your outer left sit bone forward, stretch your arm out. Yes. Feel every layer of your being doing the pose, every part of yourself. Nice, you guys, and let that go. All right, same as usual, maybe a little different, I don't know. Hopefully a little deeper experience of the hips there. Second side, stand on your left leg, hold your right foot. Spin your inner left thigh back. Widen the right knee out to the right. Stretch your leg. As you stretch your right leg out, draw your sit bone down and forward. So the hips are level, but the leg is lifting. Good. Stretch your left arm out. And then be Ananda, be joy, be all of it, radiantly, beautifully. Okay, good. Let that go. Nice, you guys. Very good. Okay. Now, let's take it into the balancing version. So here's where the block is helpful. Can I just use your mat for a sec? So we're going to put the block at the wall because we've got the radiators to deal with. If you're doing this at home and you don't have radiators, you don't need to use the block. You can just use the wall, but it's helpful in here to have the block. So we're going to go Vashisthasana, bottom foot into the block. Top foot will be here. Then reach for the foot. Inner thigh back, top leg to the sky, hip pulling back towards the wall, but we're using that bottom foot to have something to push into. So take your block to the wall and you'll just come into dog. We'll start there. So face forward, come into dog. All right. And then come forward to plank and bring the pinky edge of the sole of your right foot to the floor, the sole of the right foot to the block, and the heel to the floor. That's it. Onto your right hand. Grip your right fingers. That's it. Go the other way, Carol. You got it. Now lift up your top knee. You can put that bottom knee on the floor if you need to. Lift up your top knee. Hold your foot. That's it. Press your foot into your hand. You could use a strap here too. You can always use a strap. That's it. Push down into the block. Lift your hips. Yes, you guys. Beautiful. All right. Slowly come on back out. Yeah. Nice. Block makes it a little easier, right? I mean, not an easy pose, but all right. Second side. Start in plank. Bring your weight to your left hand. Drop your left heel. Push into the block. Push into the floor. Catch your right foot. Good. Work all those leg principles. I'm not going to talk too much because it's hard to balance. Same things we did standing. Do it here. Be here. Fully, radiantly, beautifully. Okay, good. Back, drop down to child's pose. Just breathe for a moment. Maybe turn your palms up. Squeeze out your wrists if you need to. Fully recognize that the poses that bring me joy and bliss are not the same poses for everyone, but sorry, you got me for today, you guys. All right.
Sorry, can you say it one more time?
Which, the lift the
Yeah,
Vashisthasana? So another way to do it, so there's lots of ways to, I like to try things different ways. So, you can come into the pose, hold the leg, and then up. Another way to do it, I don't know if this is easier or harder. Sometimes the things that I say I think are easier, people are like, no, that's way harder. But I'm going to just show you because maybe it's easier for you. You can come in from a lunge. So like if you're in this position, right? Heel down, grab the foot, swing the leg up. I don't know. I find that easier in some ways, maybe harder in others, the rotation. You want to try it from the lunge? Try it from the lunge. All right, let's do it. Right foot forward. Left foot back. If the block is helpful, use the block. If not, don't. I was just giving you something to push into there. It just trains that foot to work a little bit. Okay. So do the twist. This is the action in the upper body that we're getting. So grip your fingers down. That's it. Stack your shoulders. Okay, now spin down your back heel. Reach for your right foot. Most of your body is there. Maybe just lift the knee up, maybe you're not going to straighten the leg yet. Just lift the knee up, hold the knee. You could do it that way too. Yeah, that's it. Good. And then maybe step it back or don't. Right. So you could even do like this. Just to get that action, you could hold the knee, right? Bring the knee up. Sort of like the tree variation we do sometimes. I don't know, try something. Do the other side though. So left foot forward, come to the twist, ground your right hand, grip your right fingers down. That's it. Spin down what heel is that? Left. Yes, no, your right foot. Then catch your left. Yeah. Then maybe lift the knee, maybe lift the foot. Nice, Valerie. Yeah, nice queenie. Yes. That's it. Yeah, Valerie, just like that. Yeah. Yeah, Virginia. I'm back. Okay. Yeah, I know. Wrists. Okay. So we're at the wall. And take a moment for inversion, but just pause. What inversion is helping you to weave it all together today? If it's headstand, great. If it's handstand, great. If it's legs up the wall, great. Do that. But some inverted posture that will help move you to integrate all these layers and to help you seat more deeply into that Ananda bliss body inside. If you need a hand going up, call me over. If you need advice, call me over. If you need an assist, call me over. Do Ananda. What? Shoulders forward one. Shoulders forward. There you go. You got it. There you go. Whatever part of your body is touching the floor, your back, your hands, your shoulders, your head, push it down. Yeah, push it down, push the floor away. Get those muscles in the upper back working for you. Nice, Portia, that's it. You were there. Just felt, you felt sideways, felt wobbly. All right. Push the elbows down, push, push, push. All right, take another 30 seconds or so. Nice to Leah. That's it. All right. If you're in legs up, you can just stay there. If you were upside down, come to Uttanasana. Let your head, neck, shoulders release. Just roll up nice and slow. Good. And then we're going to find our way. We're going to come back to our spot in the room. So find your way up and back to where you started from. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple of hip things to prepare us to sit for meditation. So we're gonna go right leg, right ankle over left knee. If you're still setting up, take your time, it's fine. I would do this off a blanket, not on a blanket. It's better flat on the floor for this one. Okay, then you're holding your foot with either your right left hand, or you can hook your left elbow. And then you're leaning into your right hand and we're just rolling out the hip. Yep. So you find your sit bone and you just use the weight of your body to sort of iron out the hip muscles. Yep. Find a spot that feels like it needs a little TLC. You can go onto your elbow. You can lean back. You can lean forward, out to the side. Just feel into the whole joint of your hip. Lots of big muscles there. And then once we get through some of those bigger muscles, you get into the deeper ones. If you have sciatic pain ever, this is your stretch. This is your movement. It's a good piriformis glute med release, which is usually what tightens up and bothers the sciatic nerve. All right, another breath or two. Let gravity do the work for you. Really sit into that hip. All right, come on back up. Stretch your leg out. Close your eyes. Feel your body. Feel your legs. Feel the energy of your legs. Notice your thoughts about your legs, sensations, emotions, all of it. And feel the place that is untouched by whether your hips are tight or open. All right, second side, hold your left foot. You can hold with your hand or again, hold with your elbow, and then you're rocking and rolling. Lean into your left hand a little bit, circle around your sit bone. Let the weight of your body massage your hip. A lot of things in our practice we're resisting gravity, right? We're not doing that sort of collapse downwards, but this is one where gravity helps. So just let your body feel heavy on your leg, on your hip. All right, one more breath or two. All right, come on up. Okay, Agni Stambhasana, so go a little wider. Right leg is going to be the bottom leg. The shin is parallel, so you're not pulling in and out like this. The shin stays forward, and that just gives you a deeper hip stretch. Again, it's not wrong the other way. It's just a different pose. Then left ankle on top. If this is excruciating on a knee or on a hip, you can just come to this position. Again, this works fine. Okay. Settle your left sit bone as heavy as your right sit bone. Flare out your toes, flex your feet a little bit. Keep the muscles beneath the knees a little bit active. If the knees are up high, you can have your hands behind you for support, lengthening your spine. If your knees go lower, and if they go lower than mine, please let them go lower. Mine just don't. You can lean forward if you're looking for that deeper sensation. Try not to let the left hip hike up. Keep your sit bones level and grounded. Let your shoulders, head, neck, jaw soften. Hips are heavy on the floor, but your feet are a little bit active. Again, just firing up the muscles beneath the knee to keep everything in the lower leg a little more stable. Okay, if you're bowing forward, come on up. We're going to go into Gomukhasana. I'll give you an option if this doesn't work for you. You're going to slide. For me, it's easier for me to come into it lifting up the hips. So I lift the hips, hinge, do that action we've been doing all day of like sticking your butt back, sliding knee over knee, and then sitting down in between the feet. If this doesn't work for you and it doesn't work for everybody's knees, you can do it upside down. You can be here. Same pose, you're just not weight bearing and putting the pressure into your knees. So for those of you with knee stuff, that might be a better option. All right, flex your feet. Feet are outside the hips. Press your fingertips down into the floor, lengthen your spine. Again, ground your left hip. Don't let it lift. Stay here or hinge forward. We're not going to add the arms. We'll just work the legs for our meditation. Stay soft in your neck. You can let your head release towards your knee, your jaw, your face. This is one where I sort of continuously have to tell my jaw to relax and let go. And there is this correlation as above, so below, right? So when we're clenching our jaws, we tend to be clenching in the hips. So softening the jaw actually has a reaction in the hips. That everything affects everything in the body, in the physical body, and then in the energetic body, all these layers. All right, come on back up. Now, slowly, mindfully come out. Again, we don't get hurt holding poses. We get hurt going in or going out. So just be slow and mindful as you come out. Agni Stambhasana, left leg on the bottom. So left leg at a right angle-ish. Right ankle on top. Feet flexed, working. Again, you can do it on your back or you can do it here. Make your right hip heavy. If your knees are up high, lean back into your hands, draw your low back in, shoulders back. If your knees are coming lower and you want to come forward, hinge forward, go for it. The right hip in line with the left hip, so nice and heavy. Feet active. Other options, if the knee really bothers you, you can always prop a block in between. That's another, you can do it that way. You can prop two blocks. You could do one under here and one over here. Lots of ways to manage the knees, but when the hips are tight, the knees tend to bear the brunt of it. So we got to watch the knees when we work on the hips. All right, sit up if you're forward. And then again, snuggle the knee over knee. So I like to push down, lift the hips, snuggle the right knee on top, widen the inner thighs, and then sit back between the feet. Again, if your hips are super open, you probably don't need to do that stuff, but for those of you who need a little help getting there, that's a good way. All right, flex your feet. Stay upright, grounding the right hip or hinge. Head towards the knee. Relax the back of your neck. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes. Once again, just noticing that when there's deep sensation in one body part, doesn't mean we have to create that in every body part. And keep sensation in the body, we can go into the mind and let the mind settle us. All right, slowly make your way back up and unfold your legs. And then we're going to come to sit for meditation. So if you want to put on clothing, I have to keep the room cool because the next class coming in needs the room cool. So not ideal for yoga. If you want to grab a sweatshirt or a blanket to put over you, you are welcome to do that. But the next class is the chair yoga class. And if it's too warm in here, then they get sick. So you try to cool it down for them. That's our seva, our service of the day is being a little cold for our meditation and shavasana in service of our next class coming in, our community. Okay, so sit well, sit in whatever position feels like you can hold it and sit well and mindfully in it without the body protesting. Bye, Varsha, see you. And close your eyes. One way to imagine these layers of ourselves is to imagine a light, a lamp. And over the lampshade is draped scarves. So the light is there, but it's covered up. And so imagine a light at the center of your being. And your body is that outermost scarf. So feel your body. Feel how it's part of you, but not all of you. And then let that scarf drift to the floor. The light burns a little brighter. Feel your energy moving, flowing. Feel how it's part of you, but not the whole story. Let that scarf fall away. The light burns brighter. Your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, your senses, the ways that you interact with the world. Feel how they are part of you, but not all of you. Let that third scarf slip to the floor. The light burns brighter. And now your wisdom, your beliefs, all that you know to be true about yourself, about the universe, the higher truth, part of you, not the whole story. Let that scarf slip to the floor. And now the light is fully revealed, pure, whole. In it holds humanity, holds divinity. Let your awareness dissolve into that light. Allow yourself to settle into complete, serene tranquility. In that light holds all the emotions. We're not seeking this emotional euphoria, but a perfect contentment, a perfect attunement, and an abiding stillness. This light is your true nature. It is part of who you are, the truest sense of your being. Rest in this awareness. like to stay seated in meditation, final few moments together, you can stay. If you'd like to stretch out into Shavasana, move slowly, gently, find your way there. Gently now, allow your breath to deepen before moving or stretching, before allowing your awareness to come fully to the surface. Just hold all of the layers of yourself woven together, married together, this cohesive, whole, pure way. And then begin to find your way to your side and back to seated. Sit well. We are multifaceted and multidimensional creatures. And this map of the koshas just gives us one way of understanding ourselves, different parts of ourselves we can strengthen, different ways of interacting with ourselves and with the world. When we understand that we are not just the body, not just our thoughts, not just our feelings, we're all of those things, including the bliss body that is part of who you are. And we remember that we can access those deeper, more abiding places whenever we need them. They're always there, untouched, unchanging. Bring your hands to your heart. Let's finish together with an Om. If you'd like to join, take a deep breath in. Namaste.